Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here with Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and once again it is time for a full body workout. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click a like and drop me a comment down below, I'd appreciate it. Man, this is one of those days where I could tell just my upper body was not recovered. My triceps are not recovered. I'm shocked that I PR'd my tricep extensions. It's one of those days where I came in and I could tell before I even started that my triceps were still sore. And I'm like, really, why are my triceps sore? I'm doing so little for them, but I'm pushing PRs on those extensions. So it's kind of like I skipped the deadlifts and stuff today. I'm like, you know what? I just feel like my body's giving me some warnings. Like, it was still a good workout, don't get me wrong. But I could tell on the benching, the bench strength was down a little bit. I lost on both sets a rep from Monday, and it just felt fatigued, and I could tell my triceps were done. But as far as the squatting goes, what's interesting, the squats felt good. I'm looking at this, half these reps are just too high. But I'm also high bar squatting. And the reason I want people to keep in mind, as I've said, you guys watch when I low bar squat, my depth is really, really deep. When I do the high bar like this, notice my stance is pretty close and I have my toes forward. This hammers my quads super hard and it lets me get my squat pattern up while being super easy on my shoulders, right? Because when I high bar it like this and I just put it up on my traps, it looks horrific from the side, right? It looks horrific from the front. People always hate on it, but it's like, it feels like I'm working everything, but it's so easy on my shoulders. And what I want to do here, I want to just build this up because I know as soon as I go back to low bar squatting, right, which is a little harder on my shoulders while I'm letting the shoulders heal, I'll have big numbers again. I can tell you based off that right there, I feel like I could walk in and low bar 500. And I know it sounds funny from seeing those really sloppy looking 405s, but that was 8 reps. 8 reps with it high bar sitting up on my traps. And the thing you'll notice, like I feel like I'm sinking it as deep as possible, but notice when I go to sink it, what's really funny is notice I just round forward at the top. So it feels like trying to get deeper because what happens is with that position, I feel like I'm hitting my hips and I feel like I'm bottoming out at the bottom. And so trying to force it to go deeper, notice that I lean forward more at the bottom, just trying to force some depth because I'm pretty much hitting the limit of my hips. But it also puts me into a slightly deeper knee angle than I would get with my low bar squat. So it ultimately carries over really well. And I know it sounds ridiculous to people who don't understand, but it carries over really well for me. And it lets my shoulders rest. The benching today, I could feel my triceps. My triceps were simply giving out, which again, thought was interesting. Because they felt so good on Monday, right? That 315 for 5, I almost felt like I had a 6 rep on Monday. And then I got a tricep PR. Right, because I got a tricep extension PR on Friday. My triceps felt really strong. But because we did a grinder on the 275, I got a PR with it. So we got 315 for 5, then 275 for 9. Like I used a lot of tricep up. I could tell my triceps were just grinding on that. And then when I got to the extensions, because I had hit a lifetime PR with the 210, I went up to 120. And I managed to get 15 reps. So that was a PR. My triceps were shot, and I feel like they're not recovered. Right? I feel like they're not recovered. Same thing with pull-ups. I came in today. I'm like, well, since we got a PR at the 45, let's grab a 55, and I'll just go all out. I want people to know. So this is kind of a thing too. I have some people are chiming in. You're not locking at the bottom. That's as far as my arms lock. So watch my scapula, they're coming apart. I don't really have anything else. So again, this is why I'm wanting all this shoulder health and why I'm doing stuff with trying to make sure the biceps do better, because notice those are dead hang. Some of those I swing at the bottom. So again, something I want to work on over time. Now, the reason I go that close though, because I can get higher up. Like on a wider grip, I can't get as high. So that closer grip lets me do that. So it just gives me a longer range of motion. But I'd be curious to see what would happen with that if I go wider, because I realize the same thing for overhead pressing. The closest lock I can get is still going to be with the wide grip. But I'm doing the pull-ups that way right now because I feel like it's helping me stretch the shoulders. But again, I'm getting pretty strong at those. I mean, I'm happy with the performance. I'm happy with the performance. So again, a lot of what I'm doing is still working around my shoulder range of motion limitations and then my inability to lock the elbows. So again, nothing I can really do about that other than not do any supine grip stuff to see if that helps with the bicep over time, and just avoid things that aggravate the shoulder. But same thing with the extensions again today. PR'd. I'm like, well, let's go at 5 more pounds. I feel like 15 is too high a reps, right? So let's go heavier. So I went up another 5 pounds to 125, and I still got 14. So my triceps don't feel recovered. My triceps hurt every day right now. But I'm still PRing the extensions. So they're clearly getting stronger. They're clearly performing better. It's just those PRs are just beating them up. It's interesting with so little volume how that works too. So the same thing, the hammer curls, PR'd this again, just doing the sets pretty well to failure, rest pausing a few reps if I need to. And then what I decided to do, because when I look at everything, I do feel like at this point, as I continue to get a little leaner, my delts are definitely the weakest link in my physique. So I'm like, I'll go ahead and do a little bit of real pump work here. So I did my laterals. I went up, instead of the 25-pound plates, I used the 28-pound dumbbells today because I feel like the reps are getting a little too high. Tried to do these as strict as possible and did just 3 sets to failure. All right, 3 sets to failure. So I'm doing more volume for delt stuff than I am anything else because, again, I feel like maybe the shoulder work will help. So I want to get bigger, rounder delts. It'll probably help me a lot as, again, we continue to get leaner. But I'm going to push, obviously, triceps hard. Biceps, I'm only going to get from the hammer grip stuff for now because I want to get all that tendon inflammation down because that's also been suggested by experts and other people out there that I could have bicep tendon inflammation on both ends of the bicep that is still contributing to that the shoulder range of motion. So it's what I have to think about. And again, if we think about when all of that started, it was from chin-up overuse, right? That's when I got the shoulder impingements. I was doing that 100 chin-up a day experiment. So could be a factor. But I feel like with the pull-ups, because I'm forcing into a hang on a lot of those, I am putting myself to where I'm stretching all of that out. We are stretching all of that out, as best we can against load. In terms of just working on the mobility side of it. But again, overall happy with the performance there. And it's not like it doesn't grow my back. I always get people who are the same thing. They'll hate on my pull-ups. Yet I've got really good back development. And I feel my lats. And that's the main thing. All the way, anytime I do pull-ups, my lats burn like hell. And they grow. So I did 3 sets of the laterals, and I did 1 set of front raises here to failure right after with minimal break. So again, just to finish the shoulders off, because again, I do feel like I just need to bring all of that up. I think particularly add another inch of meat to my shoulders as I get leaner, especially if I get down to 200 or less. I think it'll make a big difference. So I'm just going to keep hammering it. But overall, we came in and just got the workout done. We got it done in spite of the cold, in spite of the fatigue. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you next time.